Hello everyone. I welcome you back on your favorite show Rubaru with Pooja Banga. You all know that Rubaru is an initiative by Soul Setu Wellness Foundation. Soul Setu, as the name suggests, it's a bridge between you and your soul. So Soul Setu connects you to your ever beautiful you, your inner self. Friends, today we have Aanchal Bedi with us and she'll be telling us about the excess consciousness. But before that, I would like to introduce Aanchal to all my audience today. So, Aanchal Bedi is a certified theta healer and an access consciousness practitioner, founder of Solution Healing. Beautiful name. Solution Healing aims at being a force of consciousness by facilitating personal healing sessions, workshops for personal growth, worldwide, online, and offline. Solution healing is the open invitation to people to choose greater for themselves simply by becoming more aware and acknowledging their hidden subconscious beliefs. The focus is entirely on allowing people to uh, outcreate themselves and stepping into a reality of possibilities. Beautiful, like our today's guest, Aanchal. So, are you all ready to know more about access consciousness? Do you like to empower yourself? Know you have a choice, change in the heartbeat, love, have an effect on the whole world just by being you. Let us know how and why from our today's guest, Aanchal Bedi. Hello, Aanchal.
Hi, thank you so much, Pooja, for letting me be here. So excited to be here.
Pleasure is all ours, Aanchal. To begin with, we would like to know about your journey since you are so young. So, how did you got into this work of consciousness and theta healing?
So I started 7 years ago, actually, almost 7 years ago now. And I was actually looking for something that would change my life. I was going through a personal crisis at the time. And to be honest, I was just looking for a ray of hope. And what fell into my lap was the study of access consciousness. And initially, when I started studying this, I was only doing it as a self help tool. I wanted it to change my life, make me grow out of the problem that I was facing. I did not know that years later I would actually be contributing to other people. So that is the magic of the study of consciousness. You choose it, but it gives you so much more than you can actually even imagine. So
Wow,
that's been my journey. So here I
amazing.
am, I founder of Solution Healing. We, like you introduced, thank you for that beautiful introduction. We have been facilitating people now from all over the world, especially when COVID happened. So
Hmm.
when COVID came to India, before that, we had clients coming to our home studio, and we were
Okay.
wondering that now that the lockdown situation has happened, how will we ever facilitate people? Because
Hmm.
healing and connecting with people requires you to be physically present with them. And
Right.
facilitating sessions online was never in my imagination, but it still
Hmm.
worked out. It did work out. And I still thank the tools of Access Consciousness to be able to make that happen, to create a possibility in my life which I imagined would not be the case. So I think
Hmm.
that's exactly what we will be talking about today, talking about creating possibilities. And I'm so excited to share my journey and share with all of the listeners today how we can create possibilities even in dead end situations.
Beautiful, and absolutely, I agree to what you are saying that this energy work we had never thought we can do online, but as the time changed, the virtual learning has been such a great help to each one of us, and
True.
people are actually getting a lot of results with even online sessions. So
That's
before starting, I would like to thank Mamta ji, Ambika ji, Jessica Bedi for joining. Thank you all who are listening to us. And to start with, give us a brief about access consciousness, Anchal.
so. Access consciousness, just as the name suggests, it's about accessing into your level of knowing, your level
Hmm.
of awareness, and just to allow yourself to know that you are so empowered because you have the awareness. Now,
Hmm.
when actually, when I say that, a lot of people ask me, what is awareness? Like when even during healing sessions, when people come, they have their set of questions. Okay, they're in a quest, they're trying to find answers, trying to find solutions to the problems that they're facing. And don't you think, Pooja, that is exactly what life is about? We are
Hmm.
always on a quest to know more. If you're having a relationship issue, we want to know, why did that happen to me? Or if I'm
Hmm.
not being able to earn money, why is it that money doesn't come to my life? So we're all in a quest, we're all searching for answers, we're all trying to overcome one problem and then create another problem and then overcome that. That's what life is all about. It's about problem solving. So access
Hmm.
consciousness doesn't actually give you tools to problem solve, it gives you tools to create greater.
Okay.
And that you can do by tapping into your awareness. Now, like I said, awareness has nothing to do with the factual information, with your general knowledge, with your IQ. That is the logical part of awareness. Awareness
Hmm.
is a little beyond that. Awareness can be illogical, it can be a little irrational, it could be a little
Intuitive.
beyond.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
can be intuitive.
yeah, that is very well said. So,
Hmm.
okay, let me put an example there. So, the co-founder of Access Consciousness, Dr. Dane, he was facilitating a session when a woman came to him and she told him that she had this horrible backache. And no matter how much healing she got of different modalities, no matter how many medicines she took, she had taken surgeries also, nothing ever healed her back. And she had
Hmm.
been struggling for many, many years. So Dr. Dane just worked on her energetically and he asked her this one simple question. He said, do you think if the earth healed you, your backache would be fine? And in an instance, in a moment of a second, she just said yes. She didn't even know why. She said, I don't know why I'm saying yes, but maybe there's something inside me that is telling me that, yeah, the earth can heal me. And then he again, Dr. Dane, he did some energetic work on her and her back healed in an instance. That is
Wow.
awareness. That is
Hmm.
awareness. When you knew that the earth would heal you, where is that information coming from? It's not coming from your mind. It's coming from this intuitive sense of knowing that you have the capacity to receive healing, to receive energies, to receive greatness from anything. And in fact, in one of our workshops, we did this workshop called Awareness Beneath the Pain. So while in that workshop, I brought up the same topic of earth healing our bodies, and we were working with a lot of a lot of members of that workshop. And one of the girls, when I asked her, she came with an intense knee pain. I asked her, I said, do you think the earth could heal your knee pain? And she was so new. She did not know anything about access consciousness or about awareness. She was just there to heal her body of the pain. And in an instant, she said yes. And we gave her some clearings, we gave her some access consciousness clearings. Her knee pain went away. Now, that
Wow.
is how miraculous and strange and crazy awareness can be.
Yeah.
Awareness is just a little beyond your perceptive mind. That's what awareness is. And the the tagline of access consciousness, you open any book of access consciousness, you start studying, the first line on top, the tagline rather, is accessing and empowering you to know that you know, empowering you to know that you know. And when I started studying access, I'm like, this tagline doesn't, it's not true for me because I don't know anything. Like, what are they
Hmm.
trying to tell me, that I have answers to all my problems? No, I'm a confused person here. So I did not believe that for years and years. And it took me a lot of time, half a decade, to actually realize that no, that is true. And
Yeah.
how I realized that was actually amazing, Pooja, because when I started to meet with a lot of clients, they came with their money issues, relationship issues, health issues. They came with a lot of doubts, a lot of fears, anxiety. When you actually lose direction in life, feeling lost, that sense they came with. But they also came with something else, and that is awareness. They did
Hmm.
come with awareness. And with the use of access consciousness clearing statements, with the use of access consciousness tools, you actually start to unveil, open up, unleash, unfold all of that awareness. And that is the magic of access consciousness.
Here, I want to add on, I think all the energy modalities, when it comes to logic, if you want to go for energy healing, then you have to somehow keep your logical mind aside and just surrender to that energy. And then I think when the results happen, we called it miracle. But it
Exactly.
happens because you change the energy with the help of that modality you are using. So yeah,
See,
it makes a lot of sense where when this excess consciousness comes in. As you said, awareness is very, very important. And somehow, somewhere down the line, it is sometimes your calling. As you said, you were never a believer. But then when things happened and you got the, you know, knack of it, and then you will be
see,
validation.
universe has amazing ways to send you validation.
Yeah.
Universe really does. And when I studied this, I will say that I was not entirely, consumed by this study. I had a lot of questions. I had a
Hmm.
lot of doubts, and I allowed myself to be curious.
Hmm.
I have studied this from the founders of Access Consciousness. They're like two American guys who are facilitating all over the world now. I've met the founders in person and I asked my questions. I never held myself back. If I had a question, if I doubted the study, if I doubted anything, I asked. And I think that's
Hmm.
a great thing because never shut down your curiosity. You see how
Yeah.
little children, they have questions about everything. And sometimes the other person doesn't even have an answer, but they don't stop questioning. And I never
Hmm.
stopped questioning. And can you believe it? The universe actually sends you validation. The
Right.
universe answers to what your questions are. And that is
Yeah.
exactly the foundation of access consciousness. The foundation
Absolutely.
of access consciousness is to ask questions and to create possibilities, which we will be talking about today when we get deeper into the matter.
So, as you said, I would also request our viewers to ask questions. If they have any doubts, they can ask Anchal and we'll be prompt to answer you back. So, yeah, as you said, you just told us about the excess consciousness. Now, please tell us, how does it exactly works? What does a client expect when they come for a healing
Okay.
session to you? So, what do they expect, and what are the benefits of this excess consciousness?
Okay. So I think it's better if I explain that with an example. So, say, for example, somebody comes with a money problem. Okay. And I think a lot of our sessions are dedicated to money issues with people, which is, I think, one of the things that we are searching for in life. We want an abundant, luxurious life. Who doesn't? So, for example, somebody comes with a money problem. They say, whichever business I enter into, it fails. It never gives me any kind of a profit. I'm always making losses. What is wrong with my life? So, I will then use an access consciousness clearing statement and I will say, so everywhere your failure of business is benefiting you secretly. Can we please destroy and uncreate that? And the person will say, no, 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 it's not benefiting me in any way. I am
Hmm.
horrified by my losses. I am in so much debt. Don't think it's benefiting me. So then again, I take a pause. I use another clearing statement. I say, okay, fine. So do you think your lack of money is making you a victim in your life? Are you being victimized by this entire loss? And
Hmm.
instantly the person will say, yeah, I do feel like I'm a victim. If I had money, I would have spent it and I would have enjoyed life. Right now, I'm just sitting and sulking. So the third question I will ask him is, say, for example, so how is this victim energy benefiting you? What are you gaining out of this victim energy? And then the
Hmm.
person might get absolutely disturbed that no, 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 victim energy is not helping me at all. It's just ridiculous. It's the most pathetic thing in my life. And then after a pause, I will just ask him again that, okay, so are you really receiving sympathy, empathy, love, care, attention for being a victim? And then again, the person might say no. And after a pause, they'll just say, yes, actually, yeah, my family is way closer now.
Hmm.
My family is really close because we have this lack of money situation. So we're always sitting together, discussing matters, kind of finding solutions to the problems. It gives me a lot of family time and I feel the connect. I feel the connect. And then I would ask him, so if you get all the abundance that you require, what would it be like for your family? And then he'll say, if we have so much money, we'll go on to our different, ways where there is so much that we want to achieve in life. We'd rather go. Why would we sit together in a room and discuss matters? So you see,
Hmm.
this is like a very, I think, basic example. And the situations can be much more complex. The kind of
Hmm.
clearing statements statements we use is they're very, very intense. And but I just want to focus on one thing here, that somebody may come for a money problem, but they would actually be holding their family together by using the
Mm,
lack of money as an excuse. So this is how we unleash all of those core beliefs, those hidden agendas, those secret factors that
mm,
are actually not allowing you to create a joyful life, a financial, abundant life, or a healthy body, or a great, joyful relationship. There is always a reason, a secret reason why this is being chosen. And my job is to just find out what that hidden agenda is.
mm.
So it can
So
be
yeah.
very complicated. Matters get complicated. People don't have just one point of view, they have multiple points of views. So it may take time, but I think once you start working with the clearing statements, things start to shift. You
Mm.
get clarity, you get awareness, and that is the greatness of the study.
So things gets unfolded, and
Yeah.
your what the limited beliefs you have in your subconscious, which you are not yourself aware of. So with the help of these sessions, you unfold those with the help of these clearing statements and come
Yes.
to a conclusion where the energy shifts.
Yeah. Like I said in the beginning, people come with their problems, but people also come with their awareness. But that
Hmm.
awareness is just covered under layers of unacknowledgement, that they don't want to see it, they don't want to know. It's
Yeah.
just
Then.
covered in blankets of points of view.
Yeah.
So every clearing statement will, one by one, layer by layer, just release all of that and bring out the awareness to you.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
Absolutely phenomenal, I would say, and very interesting as well. So, one thing I want to know, and our audience, of course, want to know that what is the difference between access consciousness and access bars? It is the same thing, or it is a part of it? Please explain.
Okay, so a lot of people have this question because Access Bars is quite popular. And there are a lot of trainers and facilitators of Access Bars. And Access Bars is a part of Access Consciousness. It is
Okay.
rather the first stepping stone to enter the study of Access Consciousness. If you want
Mm.
to go further into the study of Access Consciousness, do higher level courses, the first thing that you have to learn is Access Bars.
Access bars. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the basic
So
level.
access bars is a body process. That is the only process that you can't do virtually. It's a
Mm.
body process. You have to be physically present with the facilitator. And access bars is just about releasing your rigid points of view. A lot of us have many, many rigid points of view, which are not only belonging to this lifetime, they are from probably even past lifetimes.
Thanks. Yeah.
Points of view about money, points of view about your body, points of view about your capacity to create, your points of view about healing. So many people have negative points of view about healing, that it is not possible for me to heal. I can only heal with medicine. And
Mm.
all of those points of view which are locked up in our body that don't allow possibilities to show up for us, Access Bars releases all of that.
I
And
got you.
I invested 4 years just doing Access Bars. I did not take the next step because Access Bars was gifting to me in so many ways. My life had started to change, things had started to show up differently for me, and I could see the change in people's lives around me. And I started to give bars to whoever I could meet, my family members, my husband, my parents. I've run bars, I think, for my daughter. She's 2.5 years old. For the first time, I think she was 9 months old when I ran her bars. So,
Wow.
bars you can facilitate for anyone at any time of the day. It's the most versatile, beautiful, amazing process which just lets go of limitations. And that is,
Mm.
like, it took me a lot of time to take the next step in access consciousness. But I think the study of consciousness is a very inviting energy. When you start it, you want to carry on. It's
Mm.
such an invitation that you study something, your mind is absolutely blown, and then you want to go on further and further. It's just more than a healing modality. I call it a way of life.
Yeah.
You know, when you like something, you want to do more of it. Access consciousness is something like that for me.
Wow. So I'm sure our audience are also, getting a lot of knowledge about access consciousness and how to, think of consciousness in other terms, because as a human and as a person from a layman perspective, we have a very limited knowledge. But when we hear such things, then our perspective broadens up, and we have a new way of thinking that these things also exist, and we can use them as a alternative healing therapies, as a medicine, rather than just popping up pills and not getting healed from the root. Because when you shift the energy, you get healed from the root, and then there's no need of taking medicines. But when you
Exactly.
just work on the upper level, and then you have the pain comes back, the problem comes back. So yeah,
Hmm.
access consciousness, I feel, is a broadened prospect where you can heal from the root level.
Right. So wonderfully said. So for me, I also believe that access consciousness has replaced medicine for me in my life. Like if one fine day, if I have to take a medicine, I can't believe it that I'm taking a medicine. I'm like, no, I can obviously, heal this with some access consciousness clearings. So it's like that. It has been such a great replacement for medicine in my life.
Wow. So Jyoti Bedi is saying, so well explained. Bless, God bless you. And Shubhra Jain has a question. How is different from clinical psychology, which also have similar questioning method?
Okay, so I am not a psychologist by profession. I'm just a practitioner, certified practitioner of access consciousness, and I'm also certified theta healer. So when it comes to psychology, psychology is a science, okay, and it is very rigid to what science teaches. Access consciousness is a lot to do about your personal point of view. Okay, so every healer, every practitioner of access consciousness has its own way of healing. We're not
Absolutely.
following a pattern. We're not following any rigid patterns. We're not following sciences. And this is the first thing that we were taught when we entered the study of consciousness, that your that's the noise my doctor is. So the first thing that we were taught in access consciousness is that your individuality is the greatest gift, and how you contribute to someone with your personal awareness is way
Awareness.
more superior than what you will study in a book. So I'm not negating psychology. I'm not negating sciences. I am just saying that access consciousness for me is more superior than any other study because it allows me to contribute with my true capacities. I am not reading anything from a book. I am not using any written down formulas and methods that this is the only way. I am allowing myself to be out there and willing to contribute in my own great ways. That is how psychology is different from access consciousness. It allows you to be you. You don't have to be anything else or anyone else or rely on anyone else to be able to contribute.
So thank you so much for that answer, Shubhra Jain. I'm sure you've got your answer. So coming to access consciousness again, tell me what do we mean by getting clarity and remove judgment and ask questions? This is a very
Hmm.
in,
the
interesting
whole
question.
concept of access consciousness is to get you out of judgment. Another line in access consciousness books, every book of access consciousness, is that access consciousness includes everything. It includes the good, bad, ugly, and it judges nothing. Now what does that mean? It just means that judgment is the greatest limitation. Judgment is the only thing that makes you finite. It will never allow you to be infinite. The only evil in the world that is judgment. And you see, we are 360 degrees surrounded by judgment. Our day begins with judging ourselves, our body, judging people around us, judging the situations, judging things.
Point of
We're
view.
always in judgment. For example, I would say, oh, I judge my body. So if I want to go to the beach wearing a swimsuit, I won't. I'd rather miss going to the beach because I'm so much in judgment of my body. So judgment makes you miss out on the fun of your life. And in the same way, for example, I'm judging a man because he left his woman for another wife. Okay, example. And now I have decided in my mind that he's a horrible man. and I will never talk to him, and I will never allow him to ever have a conversation with me. He is a pathetic person, blah, blah, blah. And then what happens if that person ever had a capacity to offer me the greatest business deal of my life? I would never get the opportunity because I've already created that judgment.
That's
Because
great.
this is the problem with judgment. You judge somebody for a small thing, for a small act, or a small behavior, or a small personality trait, and you feel that I'm now going to just judge them for this. But instead of that small trait, that entire wall is created. You can never receive or contribute to each other in any aspect. Now, a person, whatever he does in his personal life, has nothing to do with the business offer that he could have made for you, but you left that opportunity too because judgment made you do that. The job of judgment is to create barriers. The job of judgment is to create a gap between you and greater possibilities. The job
Possibilities.
of judgment is to just control you. It's a control mechanism. Like for anyone who's hearing this, control mechanism is something that doesn't allow you to be greater, be a greater version of you. And you see how much are we judging COVID right now? We are
That's
in
what I
constant, yes.
constant judgment rather than seeing the yeah.
So I would not say, see, I agree that COVID has been the most devastating phase, and the world has not seen such a big downfall. It's been bad. However, we are not supposed to question what's happening. The purpose of access consciousness is not to question this reality, not to fight this reality. It is just creating your own personal universe which works for you within this reality.
Wow.
Imagine a room where all the members of the family, all the elders are fighting. They are
Mm.
fighting and they're abusing and they're in a bad mood and it's all going bad. And there's one little 3-year old in the room who is not bothered by that nonsense. He's busy playing with his toys and he's still finding his joy. That is what access consciousness allows you to do. You're not supposed to get into that conversation and fight with your elders and make the matter stop. You can still create your own reality of joy in a reality of devastation. So, for me, like for anyone who is wondering right now how to do that, how do we do that? I ask this question to myself every day. I think since COVID came to our country, I've been asking how do I get out of judgment of COVID and create a contributing reality for me, or create a reality for me that works for me? How do I get out of judgment of COVID and create a reality that works for me? So it comes in the form of a question. Everything in access consciousness comes in the form of a question. It's not an affirmation. It's not a full stop. Okay, so for anything that you judge,
So there are different questions for different problems like relationship, you said, money and
yeah.
job. So there are different questions for different
Um,
situations.
you can actually all the questions of consciousness are very very versatile. You can kind of fit it in every situation. They are very easily put and placed everywhere. So for judgment, if you're judging something or someone or some situation, even judging yourself, you can just simply ask this question: how much allowance can I have, rather than judgment? How much allowance can I have? That means allowance is just the energy of allowing the other person to be a crook, or
Mm.
allowing your body to have certain curves. Just having that energy of allowance. And for me, allowance, I feel, is a very, very superior level of consciousness. When the other person, for example, is driving you mad, and you say, okay, I want to have allowance for this person, I want to have allowance, it's very difficult. And I think that is the only quest I am on now in my further study of consciousness, that I want to be able to have allowance for everything. And okay, consciousness is not a destination that you will reach one day. It's an ongoing process, it's a journey.
Ongoing.
You learn
Yes.
more, you grow more, you get more awarenesses about your life, about your own being. So allowance is something that I'm constantly working upon. Like when you're getting really angry at someone, just say, okay, so how much allowance can I have for this person? or if you're angry at yourself, how much allowance can I have for me, or, for my actions that I just did, for anything.
Mm.
So it can very, very worse. It's, you can kind of shift it and put it in any place, and that's
Mm.
how it works. So also, when someone judges you, if somebody is constantly judging you, so there are two things that we end up doing. And you see, we are constantly scrutinized by people in our life, right? Children are scrutinized by their peers, by their parents, by their teachers, and we learn to be judged at a very, very young age.
Mm.
And what happens when we are being judged? The first option is we resist, we
Right.
react to that judgment. For example, if somebody, says, Anshul, you're a really boring person, the
Mm.
first thing I can do is, oh my God, how dare you say I'm boring? Of course not, I'm not boring. And every time I'm around that person, I'll try to be over interesting.
Yeah.
I'll try
So
to be
we
that crazy.
form a belief to those labels.
Yeah. Because, and then we want to prove the other person wrong, that no, I'll prove it to you that I'm not boring and I'm very interesting and I have a lot of fun. And the other thing that, you can end up doing is, if somebody would call me boring, I'd be like, oh yeah, actually I am boring. And what's wrong with me? What do I do? Again, you either align to something, you say, yeah, I am boring, or you react, no, I'm not, and I'm going to prove you. So instead of that, when somebody says that to you, Anchal, you're boring, I'll be like, okay, so I have allowance for that. It's okay if you think that. It's your point of view. It's your point of view, and that doesn't affect me in any way. And
Mm.
that is the energy of allowance, when you're just allowing the other person to have a point of view of you. Maybe it's coming. See, a judgment is never a reflection of what you are. When someone judges you, they are kind of reflecting it from their own selves.
Yes, of course.
So the moment you ask this question, instead of reacting to their point of view, instead of agreeing and aligning and feeling sorry for yourself, you can just say, how much allowance can I have for this person's point of view? And you can just say it out to yourself. You don't have to say it out loud.
Proud. Mm.
You can just say it to yourself. Like, people are giving us comments, and there are people judging you left, right, and center. So instead of getting into the proving energy, oh, I'm going to prove them wrong, or oh, something is wrong with me, they are right, I must change me. Instead of getting into that drama, which we have been doing for our entire lives, I believe, so much of energy is invested in, proving yourself as the right person, and all of that we do. Instead of that, if we just back off and say, okay, so how much allowance can I have here? How much allowance can I have for this person? How much allowance can I have for his point of view for me? And things just start to ease out. And that is exactly how you get out of judgment.
So,
Having allowance,
yes,
having
so
allowance
Neha,
is a good way of getting out of judgment. So for any situation, guys, I mean, whoever's listening today, please ask this question, note it down, remember it, memorize it. That asking this question will get you out of judgment for your own self, and judgment for other people. Also, when other people judge you, it just works wonders.
right. So, I think Nehal, she's joined late and she's also asking how to stop judging others. So, Anshul has just answered this question. If you have missed on the chat, you can go to our YouTube channel, Soul Setu, and see this episode and all the past episodes of Rubaru. So, yes, coming back to you, Anchal. So, you have just told us about the judgment part. So, if we
Yeah.
want to create something, so what questions should we ask ourselves or tell others to motivate them? Be our parents, be our children, be our siblings. What are the questions we should ask to create something new?
See, to create a new possibility from situations that appear to be walls, like, there is no way I can go forward from here. When you ask, there is this one question which is literally, I'm speaking that question, I think, a million times in a day. And that is, okay, so what else is possible? What else is possible? It's a very easy question to remember. And everyone around over here can just ask this question, what else is possible for me? So when you are in a situation where you believe nothing is opening up for you, and your financial situation is not getting better, and you're not achieving high sales, or you're not getting enough orders, or maybe there is some difficult situation in your relationship, or your body is not improving, your health is not getting better, If you just keep asking this question, what else is possible for my financial situation? What else is possible for my relationships? What else is possible for my body and for my health? Things will start to open up. And what happens is that when you ask this question, you are getting out of the limitation. A lot of people believe there is, I don't have any other forward step that I can take. This is it for me. I can't go further from here.
Yeah, this is the best I could do.
Yeah. So a lot of people are operating in this choiceless reality. And trust me, I have been there. Okay. So I am connecting with each one of you. And I know that a lot of situations, especially COVID, a lot of people are thinking that I am absolutely choiceless in COVID. The entire economy is failing. How do you think my business will rise? It's not possible. So instead of coming to that conclusion that just because the entire economy is failing, my business also has to fail, instead of doing all of that, if you just ask a question, okay, so what else is possible for my business? That was never possible ever before. And like
Hmm.
I, started the conversation today, I was saying that when lockdown happened, I actually got a little upset that, oh my God, how will I facilitate sessions? I have to run bars, I have to do healings. I can't do it now because COVID is here and we're in a lockdown. How can I call anyone to my office? And instead of going into that drama and trauma, I asked a question, what else is possible for my work? What else is possible? And since then, we have been curating workshops, meeting a lot more people than ever before. We
Yes.
have upped our game in social media because we want to connect with more audience, get them the message of what we do and how we do it and what access is, and things just keep getting better. But you've just got to be willing to ask a question, that is, what else is possible? And that's how it works.
So
And in
as you
fact, yeah, please
sorry.
go ahead.
So as you said, what kind of questions, especially for the pandemic, which is a very challenging situation for many of us, what questions to be asked in this situation so that we feel better?
So pandemic has been tough. It's been, I think, quite a trauma for everyone, something that we were not prepared to deal with. And it's been bad. It's been a bad situation. So for this, like my favorite question to ask is, how does it get better than this? How does it get better than this? When things are going bad, ask this question, how does it get better than this? And when things are going good, ask again, how does it get any better than this? Because even when things are good, they can be greater. Say for example, you're out and it's a hot, sticky day. So instead of just getting overwhelmed with that heat and cursing your luck that, oh, I had so much work to do today and it's like 45 degrees outside, just ask a question, what else is possible and how does it get better than this and how does it get better than this? You never know. It's like the weather might change, it might start drizzling, and ask again, how does it get any better than this? You might just see a rainbow. It's like, that. I'm not saying that's just a very hypothetical example. I am
No, it
just
has.
saying,
I understand and relate to you, but many of us might not relate to it.
yeah,
So they
yeah,
have to actually experience it to know it better rather
of
than
course.
just listening to it. Yes.
Yeah. So I tell everyone all the time whenever I'm talking that please don't go by my word. Please use these tools for yourself. Ask these questions in your life. Ask what else is possible for me today. When you wake up in the morning, you already have that routine planned in your head. Oh, I have to sit with my child for 8 hours of online class. Then my husband will be home. I have to cook dinner. There's this boring, monotonous routine already playing in our mind when we get up. Instead of that, just say, okay, so what else is possible for me? And how does my day get any better than this? How does my day get better? And you see something miraculous will show up because universe has its own mysterious ways of working. But when you're already sticking to a conclusion that my life has become monotonous and there is nothing new to look forward to, especially in the COVID situation, I don't have anything exciting going on in my life. Well, did you even ask a question? Did you even tell the universe that you were willing to
Better,
create
yeah.
possibilities? So when you become the energy of a question, when you ask these questions, what else is possible? And how does it get better than this? So a lot of people get confused. Let me clarify one more thing. People say that when I ask this question, Nothing comes to my mind. No awareness comes to my mind. It's that is not how it's going to work. When you ask this question once, twice, a few times, you're not supposed to receive a direct answer. It's not a question answer round with the universe. It is just
So it
you
will go
facing.
in many ways. Maybe not the same way the question you have asked, but maybe in some other way, but it will be relating to what you have asked for.
Exactly. So let me explain that with an example. Like I said, universe works in crazy ways. A husband wife are fighting. There's a fight between a couple, and it's just going from bad to worse. And the wife would say, "Okay, so how does it get better than this? And how does it get better than this?" She may just ask that question, and she would already imagine that now that I've asked this question, my husband better come and say sorry. That's not how it's going to work. The universe will not do what you are demanding it to do. That, allow, tell my husband to come and apologize to me. No. Your job is to ask the question that, universe, I want this situation to ease out. I don't want to fight with my husband. So, how does it get better than this? Okay, so the universe will do something different, something beyond your logical imagination. So, for example, that husband that was fighting and the woman asked this question, how does it get better than this? Maybe their son has a huge achievement in school, and both the parents go to, kind of celebrate with their child, and they just patch up in the process.
Hmm.
So, the universe will work in mysterious ways, and
Maybe simple,
it
maybe in
will
a
give
simpler
you.
way, order food from outside and ask his wife to come and have food with him. So maybe that can be the
Yeah, exactly.
situation.
Yeah, so it never shows up the way you imagine it will show up. It will always show up in a different way. It will always be a pleasant surprise. That's the only guarantee that the universe gives you, that you will not be disturbed. It will all depend on your personal points of view, and it will all depend on how the universe wishes to gift you. So a lot of people get very disheartened that, oh, I said what else is possible, and I asked that question, and I wanted this person to come and say sorry to me, or I wanted my body weight to become 55 kilos, and that didn't happen. Well, you can't. You're creating possibilities here. You can't attach a limitation at the end of your question. You can't answer your own question. Let the universe answer it. Let the
So well,
universe show you in its
see
own
now,
way.
since you have talked about weight loss, so many of us are struggling with the weight loss problem. So tell us, what question should we ask our body or the universe for this weight loss thing?
Number one, I would say get out of judgment of food. A lot of us are in a judgment of food. If I have too much sugar, I'm getting diabetes. If I eat carbs at night, I'm gonna get fat. If I eat some pakoras, I'm gonna get cholesterol. So if you are living with those points of view, you are going to create all of that drama of cholesterol and diabetes and overweight in your life. So how much allowance can I have for what I eat? So it took me a lot of time to understand this. I was in one
Hmm.
of my classes of access consciousness, and one of my teachers, I love that guy. Okay, he's a 70-year-old guy, and he was my teacher for that day. And there was a big bowl of brownies kept in front of him. He picked up one, he picked up two, he picked up three, and he finished the entire bowl. And I was like, sir, I
Really?
couldn't resist. I had to tell him, I'm like, sir, what are you doing at your age? You're having so much sugar. What's wrong with you? He's like, Anchal, I don't have a point of view about sugar. I know that if I eat this, it's going to add value and contribute to my body. That one line of his has changed my perception. It has changed my foundation, and it has changed my body. So after my daughter was born, I think I am thinner than I was before. I am at my fittest, and I eat everything. I
Hmm.
absolutely enjoy eating everything I eat. Like, people avoid carbs at night, but for my body, it asks for parathas for dinner. And I enjoy eating that. I don't have a point of view, and I've been at my fittest. So I'm saying it comes with practice. If you're eating a samosa, and if you're really enjoying it, every bite is delicious, but you're thinking in your mind that, oh my God, I'm going to regret eating this, you will regret eating it. And your body will show signs of putting on weight. However, if you're just eating samosa and you're really relishing it, just ask your body, can you please, just ask the universe, can you please make me Can you make this samosa contribute to me? Can you make this samosa add value to my body? If you, it's see, the study of consciousness is all about your point of view. Your point of view creates your reality. If you have a point of view that if I eat chawal at night for dinner, definitely that's like the worst thing I can do to my body. It will be the worst thing that you can do to your body. So again, ask this question: how much allowance can I have for all the food that I eat? How much allowance can I have? I don't want to judge my food. Do you realize how much we judge food?
All the time.
It is crazy. We wake up in the morning and we start planning our meals because we are constantly in judgment of our food. And when we enjoy food, when we enjoy, truly enjoy having something, we're still enjoying with that judgment that, oh, I'm going to regret eating this slice of pizza tomorrow.
Yeah. Or I'll eat now, but then I won't eat dinner tomorrow, or maybe lunch tomorrow,
Exactly.
or I'll
Exactly.
fast tomorrow. So there's judgment always in your mind.
Why, why is food seen as evil? Why is food seen as the biggest punishment? Like, why are we only, confining ourselves to soups and salads? All you've got to do is ask the question that I want this to contribute to my body. And for me, when I started doing that, when I gave myself permission to eat everything I wanted to eat, after watching my sir eat a bowl of brownies, I decided that wow, if he can do it without a point of view, I can also do it. And I started doing that. And can you believe it? I did not go on like a mad person eating everything. When you give your body permission to eat anything it wants to, it eats the right things for your body. And
Mm.
that is again how it works. Now, I don't have cravings for unnecessary things. I don't have cravings actually. I don't,
When
because
you
I'm
stop,
giving.
yeah, when you
Yeah.
give the permission, body is has a belief that you can eat anything, then you don't get that craving.
And I instantly started to lose a lot of my pregnancy weight, and everything started to fit me. Some of my jeans went loose on me, and I'm like, okay, what's this? So things change, your body changes when you give it permission. It's like telling your child, the more you tell your child, you don't touch that, don't go there, they'll all the more go there, and they'll put their fingers in the plugs. That's what they'll do, because you want to resist it.
Yeah.
So, what if today we all gave our bodies permission to eat whatever it wanted to eat? And please get this, that your body, your body will honor you. Your body will never dishonor you. Your body will not fall sick. And
Mm.
again, this comes with practice. You've got to really put your mind out there and work on these questions, work on these tools, and play with it. Play with it every day. Like I said, it's a way of life. It's not about, reading two lines from the Access Consciousness book and shutting it. No, you've got to apply it in your life. And that's how you
I
see change.
Every moment in your life, yeah. Every day, every moment. So Shubhra is asking very valid example, but many of these are deep conditioning. And if
Yeah.
we change people around us, may not and pass comments.
What does that mean?
Deep conditioning, and if we change people around us, may not and pass comments.
Understood. So, okay, so you can never force consciousness onto someone. You've got to be choosing that in your own life and being an inspiration for other people. When I get your question very well actually now, because when I studied this, I was getting deeper into it. I said, why can't people be more conscious? Like, why are they choosing so much of anti-consciousness in their life? I want to go out there and I want to tell everyone to change, and I'm going to be the change maker here. And then
Yeah,
very, very subtly I realized that no, that's not how you allow
right.
someone to choose better. You don't force it on someone. You don't force energy healing on someone. What you do is you choose it for yourself. You
Hmm.
apply it onto your own life and be the inspiration to others. People learn best by example. If you be the example and if you choose the greatness in your life, you will automatically create that ripple effect. It will be effortless. Please understand the effort. There is no effort that goes into making people conscious. It's a very effortless way. You choose it for you, you're having a ball of a time. You're having a great life, you're choosing money, you're choosing health, you're choosing great relationships, and everybody gets inspired in the process.
Mm.
It's called contribution. That is contribution. When you contribute to you, and everybody benefits in the process. There is no added extra effort of holding red flags on your head that, wow, I am the conscious person, be more like me, be more conscious. None of that drama happens. It's a very joyful, easy process. So, for Shubhra, she asked that question. I would say that you choose it in your own life, apply it in your own daily routine, and see how it just creates that ripple, that charge, that energy shift for everyone else around you.
As you said, be in the allowance state and ask yourself, how can we allow others and allow ourselves uh, for having this food or maybe whatever problem or question you have in your mind. Yeah.
Yes.
So one more thing, I'm really getting back again and again that how frequent or how quick is the result of this access consciousness? Do we have to do it again and again? And how one session or three session or five session, makes a shift? How does it work?
See, like I said, access consciousness only cares about putting you into the mode of awareness. You know, in my sessions, when I have repeat clients and I'm asking them questions, I'm working with them. If they say, Anchal, I don't know, Anchal, I don't know, I'm like, listen, you're out of the session, get out. Because you know. So stop lying to me that you don't know. So let's tap together into your awareness. The job of access is to be aware.
Narrow down.
Down, it's like a digging process. You dig deeper, you dig deeper. And I, in my sessions, I use the tools of both access and theta healing, and I create something out of it, and it's great. So for some people, I think one session does wonders. They come to the clarity of whatever they're looking for. And actually what happens with access consciousness is, maybe today you've come with a monetary issue, you
Mhm.
want to solve that. Maybe in one or two sessions you get complete clarity of that, you're working towards it, your money reality is changing. But now, because you have gotten the taste of access consciousness, you want something more in your life. Like, I absolutely love it when clients come back and they're like, okay, I don't know, I am here, but I just need more greatness in my life today. Like, they're not coming for problems anymore, and that is my biggest gift. When
Mhm.
people don't come back for problems, they just come back to create a greater version of themselves. They're like, suddenly I realized I am capable of so much more. Can you help me there? I want to explore more of me. And that is what consciousness does to you. It puts you out there, willing to explore possibilities. And I don't think people who have problems only should choose consciousness. Everyone, everyone in all walks of life. Because, like I said, if things are good, how does it get better than this? It can always get better than that. So
Always
keep
new
choosing that.
possibilities. Yes.
Yeah, always keep choosing that. Even if you have great relationships, great financial situation, a great healthy body, keep asking for more greatness. Keep saying, how does it get better than this? And the universe will show you something greater. And that's how it works.
Wow, absolutely beautiful. So we are now short of time. So I would like to ask you one thing that what message do you want to give to our audience, especially during this pandemic, this challenging time? How do they, put their foot forward after this lockdown is open?
Okay. So, first of all, I would say get out of conclusions. Stop thinking that COVID is the worst thing that ever happened to us. I know people have lost their lives. I know it's been bad out there. It's been a scary, scary phase. But can we all just learn to get out of conclusion and keep asking that, how can I allow COVID to contribute to my life? Do you know how many youngsters have started their own businesses in this COVID phase? Because they are
Hmm.
willing to even receive from this horrible phase that we are living in. They still believe that something more is possible, something greater is possible, and they are willing to have the contribution. So I actually want to share this question with everyone, that please ask this question: how can COVID contribute to me and my life? How can this lockdown phase contribute to me and my life? when you ask such questions, you automatically get out of judgment, because something that you had labeled and termed as the most evil thing, COVID is evil, COVID is the most vicious thing in this reality, you
Mhm.
you get out of that the moment you say, COVID, could you please contribute to me? Universe, allow COVID to contribute to my life. And I've been asking this question. It's been, I think, over a year now, every day. Like, when I watch the news and the news is so disturbing, instead of getting so anxious and scared and worried, I just ask, okay, whatever the situation is out there, can you still please contribute to my life? And I say that it's a very, very strange thing, I will just now say. So I know that everyone's really judging the government. Of course, the government has failed us. It's been, I think, a terror situation. But I still say that, okay, universe, if need be, please allow the government to contribute to me. Please allow the government to do its best work for me. I always say that because I am willing to receive contribution from anything. I
Yeah.
want to get out of judgment. I want to get out of the blame game. Whatever, it may not work for anyone or everyone, but I still want it to work for me. You've got to be that bit of selfish, you can say, or I label it as self care. So
Hmm.
whichever way you want to take it, you can judge me for it, and I'm fine with that. But you have to be, see, access consciousness makes you a weirdo in this reality, because you're actually willing to be out there and receive contribution from everything, and that's how you expand your life. And how does that happen? By asking a simple question: how can this contribute to me? How can COVID contribute to me? The people you hate the most in your life, ask the question now: how can that person contribute to me?
My life. Yeah.
Everyone, you are hating on someone, when you're like jealous of someone, you want to literally strangle them. Instead of saying that, just say, how can you contribute to me? And just see the energy shift. It's one of my favorite questions. I allow anything and everything, even if I'm holding a book and I don't want to read it because I'm just sick and tired. So I'll just say, okay, book, just contribute to me. And I'll just randomly open one page, read that bit, and shut. And I make sure that one page adds value to my life more than the entire book would. So just play with it at all times. Like I said, these questions, they shift and they merge into any situation. They are the best puzzle pieces for any puzzle which is incomplete. Just put it there and your puzzle will be complete. It's as simple as that.
Wow. I'm so ever overwhelmed with everything, every word you are saying because I'm just in my own world thinking and, creating
You're
my
creating
own
you're
reality.
creating your own reality. That is exactly what consciousness does to you. You start living in a reality of possibilities, and that is what it wants you to do. And all of these questions, if the listeners here are interested, on my page on Instagram, it's called Solution Healing. I have a lot of questions that I keep posting. There's a highlight called questions. I want people to go there, and it's like a set of questions that you can ask in your daily life and create
Hmm.
something greater from that. So, if anybody's interested, there's a lot of information about access consciousness on my page. I keep putting a lot of relevant content, like, I'm doing an A to Z of consciousness series in which I talk about every element of consciousness, one alphabet at a time. So you can go watch that, learn more about contribution. I spoke about contribution a few weeks ago. We spoke about financial awareness yesterday. So different elements of consciousness, I'm just kind of wrapping it together in a series. So if anybody is interested to learn more about that, there is ample information on the page.
Amazing, amazing. You are doing a very, very good work, Aanchal, and it was so wonderful having you here and got to know so much about access consciousness and how simply we can, change our life by asking questions the way you told us. So I'm sure all my audience will also start doing that from today, as Rubaru is all about, self-help tools and little change every day, bringing awareness in your life.
Thank you
So
so
thank
much. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for your time. And I was so happy connecting with you. It was my honor to talk to you with all of your audience. Really enjoyed doing this. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much, Anchal. See you and take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. I learned a lot today in this access consciousness session. I'm sure all my audience have already, contemplating on so many things. So if you have missed the session, go on our YouTube channel, Soul Setu, like and subscribe our channel, see all the episodes, and write to us. What else do you want us to bring to for you in our next episode of Rubaru? So we'll be happy to do that. So if you want to ask any question, you can write it in the comment box and we'll be happy to answer you back. Goodbye. See you on the next week, every Thursday, 5 p.m. Take care.